everybody, and welcome to episode 8 of our van build. So it's another beautiful day in Texas. It's like 90 degrees, sunny. It's a Saturday. Adam is inside editing our video from last week, and I thought that while he's doing that, I'm gonna go take a trip to Lowe's because we're getting started on something really exciting this week. You probably don't realize, but this has actually been in the works for a couple weeks, but we had to do so much research. It's a very complicated system, and if you haven't guessed already, we're doing the electrical this week. So hopefully we'll get our batteries hooked up to our solar panels through the charge controller. We're also gonna start on some of the wiring going behind the walls, which is gonna go to all of our 12-volt appliances like our fridge and our fan and USBs to charge our phones, anything that's not gonna be a 120 volt appliance. Let's get started. Different uses. So I was looking for a fuse box and some blade fuse sets, and a guy told me that they don't have the fuse box I'm looking for, but they probably do at an auto part zone, and the fuses might be cheaper there. So I think that's all for Lowe's for today. All right, so I went to AutoZone. They didn't have the stuff I needed for the fuse box, so I think I'm just gonna get the rest of the stuff online, but I think I'm gonna call it there for the day and catch up with you guys back at the van.
Hello and welcome to our electricity week of the van build. The first thing I'm going to do this week is deal with something that's been hanging here in the middle of the van since the first week of the build when we got our fan put in. And that is these cables right here. So I'm going to run those up along the ceiling and down to the side here. And this is where most of our fun stuff is going to live. So first up, run some wires, and then we're gonna put some fuses in and then build a box and lots of fun stuff this week. So let's get to it. All right, so the first step is gonna be identify which one of these is positive and which one is negative. And strangely enough, they've chosen to use the black cable as the positive cable, which you can see is maybe kind of not see that. Yeah, anyway. So I'm gonna fix that confusion right away by using this red 12 gauge wire that we bought and wiring that up to the positive so that we don't have any confusion about black and red moving forward. We're just gonna have our nice positive is red and negative is black the whole rest of the way through. So first thing I have to do with that is clip and strip that little tip there. That was a nice rhyme. And then connect those two things with a little twisty tie thingy. I'm gonna use this little clippy thingy, and I'm gonna use it right here. And we don't need much, but we're just gonna clip off the end like that. Wait a minute, I need to strip it. Okay, this little guy is going off of there. There. Okay, that's somewhat usable. Okay, so we'll take this end and we'll combine it with this positive end. We'll shove those both inside this little yellow twisty connector. And put that on there. Twist it snug. And then we're going to tape that up with electrical tape. Okay, so that's our positive wire going from the fan down to the rest of that wire that I'll be running all over the place. Next, for the negative wire. Okay, so I'm going to use these insulated staples right here, and they look kind of like this, to attach the cables, run them back this way, and then I'm just going to pop that little guy right there and put it in horizontally. And the reason I want to use these little tiny ones here is so that we're not going to lose any sealing, and we don't want those cables dangling down. Alright, so I've got the fan cables wired up going this way. This is going to sit flat like that underneath the ceiling, and it wires all the way down here, which will be back behind the wall here. You don't want to ever have too little cable, so I left myself a lot of extra wiggle room there. Alright, let's wire something else up now. So next I'm going to wire up where the refrigerator is going to be, and on this side we also are going to have the hot water heater and the water pump, so we're going to need 3 pairs of wires that have extra wire to maneuver around stuff, but also are going to work their way right back to this little corner where our electricity is going to live. I'm going to try to set up 3 theoretical wires that are going to go to fuses that we can set up probably maybe today, maybe tomorrow, we'll see. Okay, that's going to wrap it up for right now. Let me show you just what we've got done so far. I wired this fridge cable all the way across here, and you can see that comes over here where the batteries passes them, and this is where we have things starting to show up. We've got both of the solar cables right here, and I've got this labeled to be the fridge, that's the one we just saw, and we've got the fan which travels up here and it comes around up there, up toward the ceiling, and there she is. This is Katie. I'm not sure if you've ever met her. She is really good at running electricity, or wires I should say. I love her very much.
Well, I try. I would say we're like 80% done with it. What do you think?
80% maybe with the wiring. We haven't put the fuse box, the inverter, or the solar charger box up. The batteries are there, but they're not wired to anything. So there's lots of steps yet that we have to do in order to complete electricity. But once the wiring's done, it's going to be, I think, a little bit more ding, 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 and then we're good. We're going to see the fan turn on. That's my goal for this one. That's going to be fun. Yeah. But our camera battery's about to die. We'll catch up when we start to get more interesting
Maybe we'll see you tomorrow.
Definitely see you tomorrow. We only got like one more day to do this.
All right.
Get off the camera, mosquito! All right, on to the next step. We've got pretty much the most intimidating part of the entire van build right here in front of us, which is just a nest, a burly nest of wires. And right now I'm going to try to put those in order by attaching this little fuse box to the wall right here. Okay, so I put another piece of wood up here, and I'm going to use that to mount up the inverter. Alright, so now this is a big blue inverter. We've got our little fuse box. There's a little Katie back there. And batteries down here. This area is starting to come alive.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the little wooden panel I just put up there. I'm going to put the charge controller on. But one of the funny things about this charge controller is the weird way they decided to attach these little screws in the back. I obviously can't screw that on from the front, so I made marks, and I'm just gonna screw it on there, and you kind of slide it in and then drop it down, and it'll just hang there, which I hate that we're gonna be in a van and just hanging there hoping that these screws just keep it down, but that's the way that it was designed. That'll work. So as you can see, it's gotten pretty dark here. We are still grinding away on this electrical journey, and unfortunately it's Saturday, so that means our video is not going to be up in time, but screw it, we're making a lot of progress despite all the mosquito bites that we're getting. Right now we are putting some ring terminals on the ends of some really fat wires, and we're actually wiring some stuff up to the battery down there, and you can see that it's a pretty much a mess around here. We got some citronella candle going to try to keep us bug free, and it's not working at all, and everything is still really complicated, but we have a few more ring terminals on things, a little fuse box stuff. I don't know, words. So yeah, we're gonna get this going, and hopefully by the end of the night, we're gonna be able to get that fan spinning.
It's Saturday night. It's about, what time is it? It's past 9. I don't know. It's past 9. We've been working away in this bug-infested van with barely any light, trying to hook up our solar to our batteries, to our fuse box, so that we can get something going to test this system out. But it looks like there's a little bit too much to be done tonight. All right, we're gonna catch you guys tomorrow. See ya.
Why is all this shit here? This hammer, we don't need it anymore. Wrenches. Things. Hair everywhere. Screws? We don't need any screws right now.
So if you don't understand what we're doing right now, this is our fuse box, which has to be wired to the battery, and it has to go through a, well, either a fuse or a circuit breaker. And this is our circuit breaker here. That goes between the battery and the fuse box on the positive wire.
And that is secure.
And what you doing now?
So right now I am going, this is a fuse, you can see right here, and this fuse is going to be the fuse that the positive end from our charge controller is received by, that will feed into the battery. So this is a relatively important fuse.
Into the batteries.
Okay, now let me just tighten it up.
All right, it's on there.
Feels like it is.
Yeah, connecting the positives. Now let's do the same thing for the negative on this battery.
We have the ground cable.
Yep.
We have the fuse box.
Negative. Yep.
We have the solar charger negative.
Yep.
That's the one back there, and there's 4 of them. So let's get this going. Ah, bug on my back! Ah, get it! Quick, get the bug off of me!
Got it! And connect it.
Stay, come on, stay. No, oh.
Oh.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3.
All right. Everything is connected to our battery. This is the moment of truth.
No, it's not. So technically, this should, as soon as it goes up there, right? It's gonna.
I don't know. Oh! Look at that turned on!
Oh my God!
Whoa!
We did it! It worked!
We did
We
it!
actually wired it right!
Oh my gosh, this is a hallelujah moment.
What is it? It says 12.8!
Oh.
There's electricity!
That's so exciting.
Oh my God! Part of me, just every step moving forward, is certain that it's definitely not gonna work. So when it actually works, it's like, oh my God, I'm really surprised, but I'm also ecstatic. It's 20 amp fuse. Bring it over here. Let's plug it into his little fuse box. Boop. We gotta, wait, just push that back in there.
It. Did you hear that?
Oh my God.
That was the fan.
That was the fan. Oh.
Oh!
It's opening! It's on! Oh my God!
All right, we are actually gonna take apart the system right now because we gotta plug in our inverter still, but we have electricity officially. Thanks for joining us on this week's episode, and enjoy.